ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्ता कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी कृष्णानु सुतदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते मधुसूदनाय बापूजी नामने नमस्ते मधुसूदनाय भक्ति प्राप्त्याय दुर्लभ कृष्ण भक्ति अति सर्वकारणम प्रेम से बोलो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासुरी गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। Actually, I'm used to doing things very fast, so I read my prayers also very fast. Working in office, we are used to completing things. Okay, so now we'll continue the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the last session which we had, we heard about Ambrish Maharaj, amazing story, how Ambrish Maharaj so tolerant towards Durvasa Muni, and he waited for one more year and did not have food. 1 year he did fast without water, and then after that 1 more year and he did that. And looking at this, there are so many incidents which show how tolerance is important. So one of the recent kings, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, is known for a great devotee of Vitthal, Lord Vitthal. So Lord Vitthal is again Lord Vishnu. So he was at that time, Sant Tukaram was present. So he was a follower of Sant Tukaram. So Sant Tukaram used to do bhajans. So Chhatrapati Shivaji used to attend those bhajans. So there's one incident in his life. So it's a Ekadasi day, and Sant Tukaram was doing a bhajan, and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had come to listen to his bhajans. And then he was sitting there, and Mughals knew that he comes there for listening to bhajan. So they had sent their people to attack, to kill him, to attack Shivaji Maharaj. But Shivaji Maharaj did not move from there. Sant Tukaram prayed to Lord Vitthal, and then the Mughal soldiers who were there, they came. They were searching for Shivaji Maharaj. So what happened? So Shivaji Maharaj did not leave till the bhajans were over. So he sat. Even he was also tolerant. He was not afraid. So he was also staying because my bhajans are not over. I will not go. And he waited. And the army Mughal people had come. So what they did, they searched inside. So how Lord Vitthal helped Shivaji Maharaj is that everybody, whoever, so this army was going, Mughal army was going and checking somebody. Everybody was looking like Shivaji Maharaj. So like Lord Krishna expands himself in so many places we have seen in the Ras Leela or by taking care of his wife. Here, Shivaji Maharaj everybody's face became Shivaji Maharaj. So everybody was looking Shivaji. So when the Mughals go and catch one person, he used to turn back to normal, and then they would say, he's not Shivaji Maharaj. This way, it happened, and they could not catch Shivaji Maharaj. And Shivaji Maharaj, once the bhajans, the prayers, the puja, everything got over, then only he left. And he was completely saved. And Shivaji Maharaj's contribution to our country is enormous. So today our religion is protected because Shivaji Maharaj ruled quite a bit area of India. It was not just Maharashtra. If you see Indore, Baroda, means quite a big part of India was ruled by the Marathas, and they protected this thing, our religion, and against the Mughals and all attacks, they were protectors. So if you go to Indore city, which is in MP, there are more than 50% people who are Marathi speaking people. They are Maharashtrians. Baroda also has Maharashtrians. So there's the king and the queens and the princesses at all those places. Just a minute. So today also Baroda also has a palace which is of, I think, very famous family of Maharashtrian power. There is some strong, like Indore has Ahilyabai Holkar, who was one of the great personality who built a lot of temples. So Maharashtrians have contributed, and then after Shivaji Maharaj, there was a lot of contribution. So what the lesson is, like Ambrish Maharaj, he was the Lord protects the devotees. So Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was protected multiple times. This is the learning. So we have also be very firm, very confident on our and complete faith on the Lord, and be sure He will protect us in any situation. So we'll continue. So now we go to the next story, which is of how Mother Ganges appears on the planet Earth. So now so there is a story of dynasty of Man. So we heard the story of Mandat also in the last story, where Saubari, there was a rishi, who actually did a Vaishnava aparadh against Garud, and he got distracted with the fishes. He was doing tapasya inside the lake, inside the river, and he saw two fishes and he got distracted, and he came out and he wanted to marry. So he came to meet Mandata, was the king. So Mandata, story was that he was born to a male person. So Yuvanashva, there was one king who did not have sons, and by mistake he drank that sacrificial water, which was for his wife, and he begot a son. And so that son's name was Mandata, because Lord Indra gave his index finger and fed milk to the child. So in his dynasty, so there was a king named Bahuka. So Bahuka was very strong, but Bahuka's enemies, they actually, despite Bahuka being strong, his enemies took away everything. All his possessions were taken away. So Bahuka left his kingdom and he entered the forest with his wife. And when he used to stay in the forest. And one day he also left his body after doing a lot of austerity. So then what happened? So one of his wives wanted to die with him. So she also decided, I also cannot live. So she also decided to give her body. But there was a Muni, Arua Muni, who said, you do not kill yourself, because you are pregnant now. So you are pregnant and you will be a mother. So please do not. And so you continue. But what happened? Her co-wives, the other co-wives, were very envious. So there's one more story where, there was one Chitraketu, how the other wives became envious when there was a child being born to Chitraketu's wife. So they gave poison to the child. So same way, these other co-wives, they also gave poison to this lady who was pregnant. So this wife was pregnant, and they gave. But what happened? Because of pious agreement, this poison did not act, and the child was born. And since the child was born with a poison inside, means the consummation of poison, his name was named Sagara. Sagar, Sagara. Sagar is somebody who is born with a poison. So born with poison is called, born with means Sa, poison means Gar. Sagar, his name was Sagar. And then Sagar became a very great emperor. So from this Sagar, we'll see how Mother Ganges comes from this thing. Bhagirath brings Mother Ganges. So Sagar became a very great emperor, and he was performing many sacrifices for Lord Hari. And he had 60,000 sons. 60,000 sons. And once when Sagar was performing this Ashwamedha Yagna. So here again, Indra comes, he becomes envious. So Indra comes, tries to stop his sacrifice. So what he does, he steals the sacrificial horse. So in the Ashwamedha Yagna, what happens? A horse is sent across, and then he comes back. So in this case, Indra, what he did, he stole away the horse, and he just ran this thing. And the Sagar's 60,000 sons, they ran behind Indra to search the horse. But Indra, what he did, he just went near a hermitage, which was where Kapil Muni was staying. So Kapil Muni is the avatar of Lord Vishnu. You have heard Kapil Muni. So Anasuya's son, where he gives the knowledge of Sankhya Yoga. Basically, nothing but Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam combination, he gives that knowledge to his mother. So what did this Indra did? He stole the horse. He just went and left the horse near the hermitage of Kapil Muni. So this 60,000 sons who were searching, they searched into the earth everywhere. They dug and they reached that place of Kapil Muni, and they found the horse there. But because of their Maya, because of the illusion acting on them, they thought that this horse has been stolen by Kapil Muni. And they started, but Kapil Muni was actually in his meditation. He was not focusing, he was listening. So what they started shouting at him, he's sinful, kill him. They started criticizing him, he has stolen our horse. And why this happened? Because Indra influenced Maya on these 60,000 sons. That's the reason they felt uh, he's this Kapil Muni has stolen the horse. Although Kapil Muni is Lord Vishnu himself, he will not steal. But he thought that way. And when Kapil Muni opened his eyes and saw them, shouting, he became very angry. Just by opening his eyes, fire emanated from his eyes, and all the 60,000 sons were burned to ashes. So they were immediately burned to ashes. And then his father was there, Sagar was there. He was thinking, my 60,000 sons have gone, but no, they have not come back. So what has happened? So but they actually died in this thing. Then afterwards, somebody told him that your sons have been burned to ashes by Kapil Muni. Then he was very sad. Then the sacrifice remained incomplete because the sons were also not there and the horse did not come. And after some time, what happened? Sagar also had a powerful grandson named Amshuman. Amshuman was his grandson, and Amshuman was given this job to go and search the horse and complete the sacrifice. So Anshuman also followed the path. He followed the same path. He dug the earth and he reached the place where these ashes were lying. So where he reached near Kapil Muni. And Anshuman respectfully bowed towards Kapil Muni. So Anshuman was little intelligent. He did not have any ego or this thing. He was not influenced by Maya. And he bowed to Kapil Muni with folded hands and he praised to him. And Kapil Muni was very happy with him. So Kapil Muni was very happy. And then he explained to him about spiritual knowledge. So he gave him the knowledge of spirituality also. And then he told him, dear Anshuman, please take the sacrificial horse of your grandfather. Your relatives lying here as they are lying there as a pile of ashes. They can be liberated only by the touch of waters of river Ganga. So this is where river Ganga comes into the picture, where Kapil Muni says these ashes, they can be retrieved, they can revive into life only when river Ganga touches it. So he gave the horse was taken away by Amshuman. Then Amshuman went there and King Sagar completed his sacrifice. Ashwamedh was complete. Then after that, Sagar retired from his kingdom after completing his duties, and he also attained the spiritual world. But his 60,000 sons, they were still lying as ashes. They have not got anywhere. And then now Mother Ganga is actually not yet reached there. So here one lesson important from this 60,000 sons is, we should not have suspicion on anybody just like that without knowing the facts. We should understand what is the facts, just not jumping on unnecessary conclusions. One time we were very, instant. We come into conclusions very fast without realizing the real fact. So here, never judge a person with external appearance. Do a proper study, do understand, then only you take decisions. So then what happened? Then King Amshuman, who was the grandson, so he was taking care. He was also, these King Amshuman, he also wanted to have his 60,000 uncles come back to life. So he also was requesting. It's not that they forgot, gum ho gaya, so it's lost, so I'll also forget. I have to do? Nothing now. So generally we forget now if somebody has gone. So what can we do now? But here he's trying. He wants his uncles to come back to life. So he's going. So he goes to Mother Ganga and prays to them. He does a lot of austerities, but he could not succeed. But his austerities did not make Mother Ganga come down. But in the meantime, Anshuman also died. So after Anshuman died, his son was Dilip. Dilip came and he also tried to bring Ganga to the earth. See, his all ancestors, all children, grandchildren, they're trying to bring Ganga to the earth to revive those 60,000 relatives of them. But Dilip also tried, but he also was unsuccessful and he also passed away. Then Bhagirath. Bhagirath is a person who came and he performed severe austerities to please Ganga Devi. And then Ganga Devi finally appeared. So Ganga Devi was very happy with Bhagirath. So that's why we say Bhagirathi. Ganga ko ek naam hai Bhagirathi, because Bhagi brought her down on his rath. So Bhagirath was very happy, and then Mother Ganga comes and she says, tell me, I'll grant you a boon. So she was very happy with him. And then Bhagirath says, oh worshipable goddess, my only desire is to deliver my ancestors. See how nice these children are, grandchildren are. They're They're still thinking of their ancestors and they want to revive. So his only request is saying, I want to revive my ancestors. They are lying near Lord Kapil's hermitage as a pile of ashes. So they'll regain their forms only when your water touches them. So now your water, I want only for that. So, but Mother Ganga has a concern now. She's saying, I want to come, but there is a concern. Dear Bhagirath, I can come to the earth from the upper planets. But when I fall from the sky, my waters will be so forceful that I could pierce the earth's surface and go to the lower planets. Who will sustain my force? See, something which falls from a very big height, also it may be a small object. It creates a lot of pain. So a few days back, I stay in a building. So something from a 20th floor, a small stone just hit me on my back. And it was so powerful, I could feel the pain. And you think miles away, Mother Ganga is in upper planets, in Swargaloka and this thing. And she has to come on planet Earth when she will come, and it's a big river. Somebody has to take that force. If she comes, so she'll just pierce the earth and she'll go down. So she's saying, who will take this thing? So then Bhagirath says, so this is one concern. So Bhagirath is saying, dear mother, Lord Shiva is very powerful. He can sustain your forceful waves on his head. I will request him to help. So Bhagirath was confident that he will request Lord Shiva and he'll agree. See, Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. Anyone who prays Lord Shiva now, he gets pleased very fast. So he'll grant you whatever you want. So Lord Shiva is the best person to ask for Krishna Bhakti, and you will get it very fast. He's the greatest Vaishnava. So Lord Bhagirath is telling, okay, Lord Shiva will come and he'll take care of it. Then Gangadevi says, that is my first concern. Okay, that Lord Shiva will handle. But I have a second concern. So when I'll come on the earth, there will be many sinful people who will take bath in me, and they'll just pass on their sins to me, and they will get purified, leaving all the sins with me. But I will keep on accumulating so much sins. But who will take away my sins? It will so many sins I'll be accumulating. So Bhagirath replies, dear mother, the devotees of Lord Hari are pure in their characters and can purify the entire world. They carry Lord Hari within their hearts, because Lord Hari can destroy sin. And when his devotees take a bath in your water, they can remove all the sins you have accumulated because of the bathing of the sinful people. So Bhagirath is giving second solution also. When devotees of Lord Hari will come and they will take a bath in your water, then those sins which have been accumulated of people, that will get washed away and you will become sinless. But in this material world, what is going to happen? So what in Kali Yuga it says, in Kali Yuga, when the sins will increase and the number of sinful people, if they increase on the earth, the nature will stop supporting them. The nature will withdraw all the facilities what it is giving. So you will see in many, down the years, we can already see there are many cities where there is water shortage. Recently in Bangalore, there was a news, they had a water shortage, and the ground level of the water is falling down. There's Chennai also had some same problem. The sins will keep on increasing, the sinful people will increase, nature will slowly withdraw all the facilities from the earth. Water will go away, grains will go away, food grains will go away, there'll be no food, people will be eating only flesh, the life of people will fall down to 30 years. So that's where the Kali Yuga will head to. So our responsibility is get out of this Kali Yuga material world as fast as possible, and move out of this material world and go to Vaikuntha planet, serve the Lord. That's the objective. And for that, we have to listen to this Katha, listen to Bhagavatam, do chanting, and get out of this. So here, this solution, two solutions have been given. So Lord Shiva will take the pressure when Mother Ganges falls, and then all the sins will be taken away by the devotees of the Lord. And then Gangadevi was pleased with Bhagirath's answer and finally agreed to descend from the upper planets of the earth. So when we had heard the story of Lord Vaman, so Mother Ganges also, the Lord's foot, when the Lord was expanding, Lord's toe entered the upper planet, just pierced it, and it touched the waters of Mother Ganges. And also it says, the Lord Brahma also washed the feet of Lord Vaman Dev with Ganga waters. So and that same Ganga water will fall down and Lord Shiva will take it on his head. So then Bhagirath went and then he performed further severe austerities. See, this is Satyug time, and the Satyug time is known for austerities, tapasya. So they used to do tapasya, so severe austerities and to please the Lord. And now in Kali Yuga, we are supposed to do chanting. That's the mantra. So he did tapasya, and then in Treta Yuga, it was yagnas. Yagyas used to be done. And in Dwapar Yuga, it was deity worship. The worship of the Lord was to be done. And then in this, we do the chanting. So Bhagirath he did severe austerities to satisfy Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. He came down and he was very pleased, and he said, yes, he accepted his request. He said, I am willing to take. See, Lord Shiva is so powerful. Such a powerful river will come from the heavenly planets. It will just fall on his head with so great force, and Lord Shiva will take it. Such a amazing. And last time we saw in the Samudra Manthan also, he was the one who took all the poison. So Lord Shiva is a person who does most difficult job is given to Lord Shiva for taking. The Lord gives him because he wants Lord Shiva to be glorified. So Bhagirath then began. So after that, everything was ready. Then Ganga river started descending from the heaven. Lord Shiva just opened his hair, and then he took all water on his head. So then Ganga starts falling from Lord Shiva's hair, and then it's falling there. And from the place where it falls first time, that is called Gangotri. That place is at Uttarakhand. So then the river starts falling there. Then when the river started falling, then Bhagirath, what he did, he took a chariot, Rath. So Bhagirath took a chariot. So it's a swift chariot, and he gave Mother Ganga direction. Because who had brought Mother Ganga to the earth? It was Bhagirath. What was the purpose? To revive his 60,000 ancestors. So for the 60,000, he has to take Mother Ganga to that place. So he's giving the direction. So from Uttarakhand, Gangotri, Mother Ganga starts flowing, and Bhagirath is giving a direction to Mother Ganga, and she's purifying all these places, and she reaches to the place where the ashes of sons of Ganga is staying, is there. The ashes of the sons of Sagara is there, and then Bhagirath sprinkles that water on those ashes, and all the 60,000 sons, they are revived and they enter the heavenly planet. So this is the way 60,000 sons were elevated, and such a great effort. Who did? Bhagirath, who was a great grandson, 3 generations down of these ancestors. He relieved them and gave them heavenly kingdom. He followed the advice of Lord Kapil and his fathers. One more important thing, following advice of your guru, of parents, is one of the most important thing which gives us success. So he was finally successful, and they were purified by the sin. So also Sagar's sons had offended Lord Kapil, but Lord Vishnu is always with compassion. So he helped them revive also. He gave them a suggestion of bringing this. And this also shows the lesson of determination. Like if I am determined for a goal, like I have decided that I have to do these many rounds of chanting daily, I will do it. Be what may. I will not compromise on that. Here, his goals was very clear. He waited, they waited for so many years, and Bhagirath convinced Mother Ganga for 2 such important things which Mother Ganga had a concern. But he convinced, and he ensured that everything was handled properly. And he was focused on his goals, not distracted. So one important thing is, when you're focused, never get distracted, be determined, and then you will find everybody supporting. You will get support of the Lord. If we are determined and hardworking, we will all get support, and we'll be able to achieve our goals, and we'll achieve success. But people who are not determined, who are very casual about things, they will never achieve their goals. So this is the important thing. And his goal was not for himself. Bhagirath did not desire any goal for pleasing himself, for his sense that is gratification, or anything for his personal pleasure. He wanted something for others, for his ancestors. And that's why God is also pleased with such people. And Mother Ganga came. So this is the story of how Mother Ganga came. I think there's one more story which has, when Mother Ganga flows from a place. So there is one Muni, Bimala Bhakti Hasi. Hare Krishna.
Yes, which story?
There is one Muni now, Mother Ganga, actually, when it flows, When she flows, and then there's one sage who was doing tapasya, and his kamandalu or something was taken away by Mother Ganga, and then he drank the whole Mother Ganga. What was the sage's name?
I
We
don't
call
remember. I'm also unable to recollect.
we call Mother Ganga's other name is also there. So there are many names we call. So she's called with that name also. Just a minute. Let me check.
One name is Bhagirathi, na? Because that is
Bhagirathi is because Bhagirath brought her down.
um,
Then there is
I'm not sure which.
which
I
one?
don't remember now.
एक तो मंदाकिनी है. अलकनंदा is
I'll search today. We can tell that in the next session.
Janvi. Got it. So Janvi, she is also called Janvi. Mother Ganga is also called Janvi because there was Janva Muni who was doing tapasya, and when Mother Ganga came with force, her Kamandalu, this saint's Kamandalu went along with the water. So what this saint became angry and he drank the whole Ganga completely. Then Mother Ganga pleaded and then gave the Kamandalu back. Then he gave Mother Ganga back. That's why she's also called Janvi Mata. Janvi Mata is also the name of Mother Ganga. So that's also one story of Mother Ganga. So we'll move ahead. So Mother Ganga's story is here. Then there is one more story of Saudasa. Saudasa is a basically again in this dynasty. So see, this story is very historic and proper history is there with the lineage system is there. So this Bhagirath dynasty had one more king. His name was Saudasa. And Saudasa had a beautiful queen named Damayanti. And once Saudasa went to the forest to hunt, and in the forest he saw a Rakshasa, who was a fierce demon, and who used to kill people. And Saudasa, what he did, he fought with him and killed him. So Saudasa was a king, and he killed that demon who was creating problem for all the innocent people. But this Rakshasa's brother, he wanted to take revenge. So he was not killed. He wanted to take revenge against Saudasa. So what he did, he came into that kingdom in that king's palace, and he took a job of a cook. He did the job of a cook. So he was cooking food for the king and his family. But because he was a Rakshasa, he wanted to take revenge. So one day what happened, his Guru Vasisht. So all the Guru Vasisht has been the Guru for all the Sun dynasty, from whatever Ikshvaku to now. Vasisht Muni is a sage of this. If you see Lord Ram also who comes in this dynasty only, so Vasisht is the sage for them. So he remains the sage continuously for this Sun dynasty. So when Vasisht Muni came to the house of Saudasa, so he came for lunch and he was offered food. So what happened? This Rakshasa, he put human flesh in the food, and that food was served to Vasisht Muni. And Vasisht Muni, when he saw that, he realized, that food has human flesh, and he became very angry. He became very angry, and he immediately cursed Saudasa and saying, "O king, you have invited me to take meals at your home, and you're feeding me human flesh. I'm a Brahmana. Do you think I'm a Rakshasa who eats human flesh? For this grave offense of yours, I curse you to become a man-eating Rakshasa." So sage Vasisht also became very angry, impulsive. So it's very impulsive nature. And he became angry and he cursed Saudasa. Here, one important thing is that, who cooks food for you is very important. This chapter says that. And when a guru is coming into your house, never give food cooked by your servants and maid servants. The food should be cooked by the family members, at least for the sages. And obviously the food has to be offered to the Lord before giving it to for consuming, for eating ourselves, or giving it to anybody. So here one big mistake I feel is Saudasa king did was he got the food cooking done by his servant, which was not correct. And that servant was nobody, is the Rakshasa's brother. He was a Rakshasa and he wanted to take revenge. So he took a revenge, and now because of this, what happened? The king is cursed by Vasisht Muni. But now Saudasa also did not have an intent to see. It was not intentional. He did not want to insult Vasisht. And it was served by Rakshasa, not by Saudasa. So after considering these facts, not inquiring, Vasisthas impulsively cursed, because Vasisth should have inquired, how this happened. But he impulsively cursed him. But Saudasa also was impulsive. He also counter cursed. So immediately he also became angry, and he told, Vasisth Muni, you are cursing me because it's not my mistake. It was, it was a food which was cooked by my cook. Then he took water in his hands and he chanted, Sappa mantra, the hymns of the curse. And then he was just going to curse Vasisth Muni, but his wife was intelligent and she immediately stopped him. So also he took water in his hand to curse the Vasisth Muni, but his wife stopped him. But because of his water, now he had water in his hand, and that water he had to throw somewhere. So his wife first advised him, it's not good to curse her. It's not correct to curse a Brahmana, and that also your guru. He's your guru and Brahmana. You should not curse. So he realized he did not curse, but he threw his water. That water in his hand. He has to throw somewhere, that he threw on his own feet. So he had to, because it should not harm anywhere else. If he had thrown to somebody else, that person would have been cursed, or he would have become snake. So he threw it on this thing, and when this water fell on his feet, a black spot happened on his feet, and that's why Saudasa was also called Kalmas Pada. Kalmas Pada, a person with a black spot. With a feet, the Pada is a feet. Kalamas Pada, Kalamas. Kalamasa is black mass. Black, the skin is turned black, and on the feet. So that's why he was called this thing. Then, fortunately, Saudasa didn't curse Vasisth Muni, but Vasisth Muni realized his mistake. He realized, I wrongly cursed him. I was too impulsive. And then he said, okay, this curse will last to you only for 12 years. So because at that time, people used to live for 10,000 years, almost more than that also. So he said, okay, this curse will lie only for 12 years. So then you will be removed of this. And also, Vasisth Muni, what he did, he also did atonement. So he said, okay, I will also go do tapasya for 12 years. Because I cursed you wrongly, I will also do austerities for 12 years. So see, the sage is correcting himself for his mistake. He is not only, he himself is doing atonement because of his mistake. Such a important lesson this is, when we have wrongly done a mistake on somebody else, we also atone for that. Like, that's not atonement. Like Ram, along with Lord Ram, Lakshman also went, because he was not asked to go for, to the forest for exile for 14 years. But he also went because he loved his brother so much. But here, Vasisth Muni did the mistake. He also wanted to do this thing. But here, what happened? Saudasa, he lost his memory because he had to become Rakshasa. So after, because of this case, Saudasa became a Rakshasa, immediately became a Rakshasa, and he was wandering in the forest. So one day he saw Brahmana along with his wife. They were in the forest. And because he was a Rakshasa, Rakshasa's food is flesh. They eat flesh. So they saw the Brahmana and he wanted to eat the flesh of the Brahmana because his mindset was, his thought process was because he had lost his memory when he became a Rakshasa. And he said, I will eat the Brahmana. But his wife, the wife of the Brahmana, tells him, Saudasa, you are a king. You are a descendant of Ikshvaku dynasty. You are a Sun dynasty. You are coming. You are not a Rakshasa. Please do not act cruelly. Please return my husband. He is a learned Brahmana performing devotional austerities for Lord Hari's pleasure. A saintly king must protect Brahmanas and not harm them. So he's requesting, his wife is requesting to Saudasa, who has become a Rakshasa, don't eat him. But Saudasa actually did not realize that. In this way, the wife of Brahmanas piteously requested Saudasa not to kill her husband. But because of the power of Vasishtha's curse, Saudasa exhibited the nature of Rakshasa and ate the Brahmana. But he was in the form of a Rakshasa and he was cursed, so he was not able to think. And this Brahmana wife, she became very angry. She became so sad and she cursed Saudasa again, saying, "Oh fool, oh sinful man, you have separated me from my husband. Because you have eaten him up, I will not have a child now. I curse you that you will die whenever you go near your wife and you cannot have a child." So now, see that those times were where curses used to work. So now Brahmana's wife is cursing Saudasa, that poor chap. The first Vasisth Muni cursed him, For 12 years, he became a Rakshas. And then now this lady, because he ate the Brahmana's wife, Brahmana. So Brahmana's wife is cursing him. So she's saying, since you have separated me from my husband, and I will not be able to get a child, you will not die if you go near your wife. So if you go near your wife, then you will die. So you will also not have a child. Now then after this 12 years, when the 12 years got over, he became normal. The Rakshasa became Saudasa king. And then this Brahmana's wife also, what she did, because the Brahmana died, she did that cremation of her husband, and she also jumped into the fire because of the grief she had. And she also attained the destination of her husband. After this, when this Saudasa completed 12 years, he became normal, he became Saudasa, and he was released on the curse. And then, but he was in the curse of Brahmana's wife that was there, because Brahmana's wife told Saudasa, if you go near your wife, you will die. But Vasisth Muni saved him. So Vasisth Muni countered this curse of this thing. Countered in the sense, he helped Saudasa to get a child. So after 7 years, with Vasisth Muni's prayers and this thing, so he was able to get a son. So Damayanti got a son after 7 years. And they were all celebrating. Everything became normal. So this chapter teaches us, how anger is so dangerous. Vasisth Muni, his anger made Saudasa become a Rakshas. Then he was Rakshas, and then he was also angry. So he also had to throw water on his feet, which also created a black spot. So anger is very important. So since time immemorial, uncontrolled anger has only led to unpleasant outcomes and never to noble results. So anger will never help in noble results. It will always be unpleasant thing, and which will be sometimes unintentional also. It may not be intentional, but it will result in unpleasant thing. So whenever you are angry, calm down, go into a alone place. Don't react. Even great personalities are victimized by anger. For example, Vasisth, also a sage, impulsively cursed his innocent disciple. Saudasa, also in truth, it was the Rakshasa, not Saudasa, who had served Vasisth humanly. As a result, the anger in Saudasa also erupted. He was about to curse his guru, but he abstained from doing so due to timely intervention of his wife, Damayanti. So anger, three things are very dangerous: anger, lust, and greed. If we are able to control these three things, we will be able to become great personalities. These are the three things which we have to control, and these three things can be controlled only by chanting, listening to kathas, and association of devotees. These three things we follow, we are safe and firm. So here we learned one thing. Cook also. The one thing was cooking. Who cooks your food is very important. See that your family members do offer to the Lord, and then this thing. And particularly when sages, gurus, devotees come to your house, better only the family members cook for them. And because when family members cook, they will have good vibes inside them. But generally, if you have your mates, this thing, they generally don't carry great vibes. They'll have negative vibes. They may be coming from some place which will not be so pleasant. So cooking your food by family members is very important. So we'll do one more. There's one story of, so we did story of Mother Ganges, how Bhagirath brought her, how Sagara, who was born, and then he did Ashwamedha again, how the horse was stolen by Indra and kept at Kapil Muni's ashram. And then 60,000 sons of Sagar went to take the horse back, and they thought Kapil Muni has stolen the horse. And then Kapil Muni just opened his eyes and they were burned to ashes. It's not that Kapil Muni was angry with them, but Kapil Muni is a Lord. He never wants to do that intentionally. But he did that because he wanted to do this Leela of, bringing the Mother Ganges to the earth. Otherwise, Kapil Muni was never angry on this thing. These guys. So then after that, we saw the story of Saudasa, who was a king, and then he was cursed by Vasisth Muni for serving him human flesh, and then how he became a Rakshasa, and again how he had a Brahmana, and his Brahmana's wife cursed him. Then how Vasisth Muni saved him from this curse and got a child for him. So there's one small story of one more king again in the dynasty of Saudasa. So this dynasty is continuing forward. So there was a king named Khatwanga. So Khatwanga was unconquerable king. Nobody could win against him. He was very powerful. So once he was so powerful that he used to help Devatas in fighting against the demons. So Devatas used to come to him, help us to fight against the demons. So once to the Asuras. And then he helped them and he won against them. Without much effort, he used to win so easily. He easily defeated all the fierce Asuras. So Devatas again. So Khatwanga, when he won against the Asuras, the Devatas became very happy. And they told him, we are very happy. You ask us whatever you want. So, dear king, we are pleased with your selfless service. We wish to offer you a boon. Please ask for a boon. So Khatwanga also did this service without any greed. He did not have, he wanted to help the Devta. So he said, you ask a boon. So Khatwanga tells him, dear Devta, can you please tell me how much more time I will live? So his only question to the Devta is, tell me what is the balanced life I have. So Devtas replied, dear Khatwanga, you only have one Murat. That is 48 minutes more to live. Means you will live only more for 48 minutes. After that, you will die. Many people like, we are listening to this Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Parikshit Maharaj, he will live for 7 days. So, he's listening to Bhagavatam. So, now, within the story, there's a story of Khatwanga who's told that, he'll live only more for 48 minutes. So, immediately what he did, he went to his palace and did not waste any time. And he started thinking of Lord Vasudeva without any distraction. Nothing. He did not go to the home and made a will, now this property belongs to my son, my wife. Nothing. He did not waste any time. That matter, the family will take care. No worry. He said he had only 48 minutes more to live. Immediately went into the house, isolated place, started praying on, doing meditation on Lord Vasudeva, Lord Krishna. Without any distraction, just focusing, because those 48 minutes were very important. So he prayed to the Lord, dear Lord, no one and nothing is more dear to me than your beloved devotees. My kingdom, land, wife, children, and wealth are not attractive to me. I haven't found anything more satisfying than devotion unto you. So my only job is only devotion unto you. I am not interested in any material boons. I could have asked anything from the Devtas. He could have asked anything from the Devtas. He would have told him, give me more life, give me a bigger life, or give me great wealth and so thing. He did not ask anything from the Devtas, but when they offered any boon, I did not wish to take anything from them. I only wanted to take your shelter with full devotion. So this 48 minutes, I will do only your prayer and your worship. First, firmly deciding, Khatwanga gave up his body and attained Lord Vasudeva in the spiritual world. Our final exam is this. Our life's final exam is when we die, what will be in our mind? Humme kiska smaran hoga? What will we be thinking? The end result is when we die, we have to get the thoughts of Lord Krishna. That's the only thing. That's the end. That's the result of whatever practice we are doing. So this life, this satsang, this kirtan, everything is our practice. Our practice is for what? That when we die, we should remember only the Lord. And this is what Khatwanga did, at the time of death. He was so fortunate. He was very fit. See, generally people who die, they die in hospitals. And they die in hospitals in such a state that they may sometimes be in coma, their body is not working, their thinking is not happening. He was fortunate that he died in a very, with his full sense. And immediately he utilized his sense for worshipping those 48 minutes. In the 48 minutes, he only did worship of Lord Vishnu. So we are doing this practice continuously, because when we die, we have to remember the Lord. And that is what we will take us to the Lord's kingdom, because what we remember at the last time will decide what our next birth will be. So if we at the time of the death, we decide of some wealth or something, we will be doing something related to that. And at the time of our death, if we remember Lord Krishna, then we will be at his abode. And our objective is that. So then after this, Khatwanga gave up his body and I attained Lord Vasudeva in the spiritual world. And after this, there were many kings, and in under the Khatwanga, there are further kings who come. There's Dashrath Maharaj. So Maharaj Dashrath comes in this kingdom, and his son Lord Ramchandra was there. And so Ramayana, so we have already done. So this, see, if you see, Bhagavatam also does not contain much of Ramayana, because Ramayana Valmiki ji has written, and it is known. So that's the reason he did not. And Parikshit Maharaj would have already read Ramayana. He wanted to spend more time on Lord Krishna's story. That's the reason Ramayana is very, very briefly, just touched upon. So we'll also not cover much. We'll just go to the next. So here in this chapter is one thing which we learn is time management from Khatwanga king. One is, don't you have timetables at school? How do they help? So we should have our timetable, what we'll do when. So daily we should have a schedule. This much rounds chanting we'll do. This much time we'll spend on that. This much time on my physical exercise. This much time on my studies. This much time on something else. So we plan. So they organize the time you spend at school in a way that enables you to get most out of your time. Unfortunately, no one knows how long one can live. As soon as Khatwanga realized that he had only 48 minutes of life remaining, he immediately began meditating on the Lord. It is possible to reach the Lord only if one remembers him while leaving their body. This is possible only by regular cultivation of bhakti. So this is only possible if we do regular practice. So if you see a sportsman, how do you think great people, Sachin Tendulkar or Sani Mirza, so many great players, Virat Kohli, these great players, they do regular practice to be successful, to perform well. So our practice is what? Our practice is bhakti, our practice is devotion. So in regular practice, we cannot say, today I'll do some chanting, today I'll do this thing, tomorrow I'll do something, I'll do only this. You have to have a proper timetable. See that those devotional practices are done properly. So let's ensure we do not miss on our daily dose of bhakti and make the best use of our time. Ensure that time management is very important in everybody's life. So now we have a couple of more stories. So we'll do. So there's one actually very nice story also which we'll do of Parshuram's story also comes in this. Lord Parshuram story comes here. So we have that. Then there is Yayati and Devyani story. That is also very nice. So we'll cover. So maybe 2 more sessions we should be able to complete this book. So we'll today then we'll end the session here, because next story of we'll do on Friday. Okay. I'll just then end the session. Vancha kalpatubhyo kripa sindhu bhaya patitanam hamne bhayo vaishnavi bhayo namo namo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.